This is the story of Fra Ignazio. It's another one of these Italian fairy tales. Fra Ignazio was a lay brother whose job at the monastery was to go begging alms for the support of the brothers. And every day he would go down from the monastery on the hill into the town, and he would beg for sustenance. He preferred to go begging among the poor, because the poor people always gave. Whatever they gave cheerfully. There was one wealthy man in town, a notary named Franchino, who was an old miser, an exploiter of the poor, and his house Fra Ignazio always skipped. He never begged alms from Franchino. Well, Franchino noticed this, and he went angry to the prior and said, Fra Ignazio always skips my house when he comes to the town to beg for alms. Right? Am I so insignificant a personage that the monastery doesn't want my charity? So the prior, with the kind of practiced patience of someone in this position, says, "Calm down. I will speak to Fra Ignazio. I will fix this problem." So the notary is satisfied and he goes away. And that evening, the prior calls Fra Ignazio to him and he says, "You've offended good Franchino by never begging alms from him. Tomorrow, you will go to his house and you will accept whatever donations he gives you for the brothers." So Fra Ignazio bows his head silently and takes his leave. The next morning, goes to the house of Franchino, who's waiting for him. So Franchino goes with him through all the rooms of his house, luxuriously appointed, pulling things off the shelves, putting them into Fra Ignazio's sack. So sacks of gold coins, silver plates, jeweled candlesticks, tapestries off of the walls, just many, many fine things. Stuffs his sack full. Fra Ignazio thanks him simply, hoists the huge sack now onto his back to begin the long trudge up the mountain back to the monastery. When he sets foot in the street, he takes one step, and a single drop of blood falls out of the bottom of his sack into the dust of the road behind him. Fra Ignazio notices this, but says nothing and keeps walking. And as he walks, the drips of blood get a little bit more frequent. He's leaving a trail of blood behind him in the street. And the people of the village, when they see this happening, they say, it's meat day for Fra Ignazio. Somebody's donated some fresh cuts of meat to him. The brothers are going to eat well tonight. Fra Ignazio ignores them and keeps walking up. And when he gets into the courtyard of the monastery at the top of the hill, they see him with this sack, the bottom of which is soaked with blood. And they say, somebody donated meat and freshly slaughtered too. It's going to be a good dinner tonight. So Fra Ignazio then goes to the prior, and the prior opens the sack. There's no meat in the sack. There's just the gold plate, the gold coins, the silver plates, the jeweled candlesticks and tapestries, all the fine, luxurious things that Franchino put into the sack. The prior says, "What's the meaning of this?" And Fra Ignazio says, well, the blood is coming from the sack itself, because none of the things that Franchino gave were his own earnings. They were this is the blood of the poor from whom he's extracted everything that he has. And from that day forward, Fra Ignazio did not go for alms to the house of Franchino. The end. A little bit of